Hello friends, this is Vikram from DataEdge Learning, and in this video series of Spark scenario based interview questions, I am just starting with my first question, and that is how to handle data skewness in Spark. So there is a solution for this problem that I'm going to cover. But before that, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it so that you can get further notification about different scenario based questions into the Spark. Let's start. So before starting about the solution, let me just quickly tell what actually the data skewness. So as you can see, I had provided the basic definitions for this data skewness as well. And here you can see that skewness is nothing but it refers to a value distribution. And how the value distribution can be? What could be the skew data classifications? So skew data classifications can be no skew, left skew, right skew kind of the things. And the skewness is basically the terms which will tell that whether your data is properly distributed or not. Properly means evenly distributed among the different nodes or not. Okay. And if it is not properly or evenly distributed, in that case, it can affect the performance and parallelism of your distributed system. So sometimes, let me show you this example as well. So this is the example where you can see the left hand side data is evenly distributed. So if this data is not having any skew over here, and right hand side, the red color one, the data is not properly distributed among the nodes. So it is having the data skew. So what will happen while executing the proper data at this node, it will take longer time and this node will take lesser time. Again, if you see the last one, it will take a very few limited time as compared to these many nodes. So in this case, you will have to wait till the data node, which is having the loaded data to be get processed. You cannot say that we are getting the data from this node quickly, so the whole output we are getting at the same time. So this is the actual data skewness problem. Now, how you can fix this one? What is the solution for this one? Right. So let me open my editor and you can see here, I just try to create the main method, which will be regarding the creation of the Spark object, that is the entry point of the application. Okay. And in this one, I just try to read one CSV file, which is the bigger file in size, airport2.csv. And if the same CSV I have open over here, and you can see the file size is around 500 MB. Okay. From where you can be able to get it. Okay. So what you can do, you can Google it. Okay. And how you can be able to Google it? So you can go to kaggle.com and in that data set you can just get the data. Okay. Now what we have to do, we read this data, right? Now we need to see whether any kind of the data skew is available to this data or not. This data skewness will not work on the smaller data. Okay, maybe it will not show you the proper kind of the things. To work with that data skewness, you need to just take an example of the bigger data. Okay, so how we can be able to see? Okay, so first of all, I will check whether the data what the Spark is reading into it, that is evenly distributed or not in whatever the number of the partitions. Okay, so how to check that one? Okay, so let me write the code for this. So this is the data, I'll try to group them. Okay, and how I am grouping them based on the partitions IDs. Okay, so how the partitions ID will come now? To see the partitions ID, we have to make use of the some SQL based functions of the Spark that I will be making use as the f dot. Now you can see here we are not able to get any shortcut method. So let me write the first Spark partition ID. Okay, and this is the method. And now we need to provide the references for this F. Okay, so for this F, from where we are getting this one, let me import that. Import PySpark dot SQL dot functions. Okay, and add capital F. I am importing. So now I have this function. Okay, now what you can do, you can simply print this result. Okay, to see your data partitions. Dot count if you apply. Okay, and dot show to show the data. Okay, now what it is saying, we need to close this braces. If you run this example, you will see partitions wise how many partitions is getting created by reading this CSV file, and what are the count on each of the partitions, whether the data is evenly distributed or it is having some skewed kind of the things. We need to wait till the time it is getting executed. It may take, okay, so, oh, I missed the spelling. Now I can rerun this one. Till the time it is getting executed. So if you want the further videos on Spark, GCP, and Hadoop, SDFS kind of the videos, you can just subscribe my channel so that you can be able to get all the videos related to them. Now you can see the result, the Spark partition ID and count. So by default, it has created the 4 partitions, 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is how the data is distributed, right? Now, what we can do, as you can see, the data is not almost evenly distributed, right? So in this case, we will try to make use of some of the way how we can handle the data skew. So one of them is by using salt technique. Okay. So how to use this one? That is the question. So first of all, in the case of the salt technique, we are creating one additional column on this data set, and we will try to repartition them. Okay. So this is my data frame with column, and I'll give the name itself as the salt. Okay. Salt is the name I'm giving to this, and how I'm just renaming this one. So I'll take some random value, okay, from the SQL. So this is the method to get the random values, okay. And what I'll do, the result, whatever I am just generating from this one, I'll store into the same data set, okay. So this data frame, Myntra data frame, is now having one extra column that is known as salted with the some random value, okay. And the result itself is stored into this Myntra data frame. Now I will try to repartition this Myntra data frame, and the result I will store it into the same data frame itself. Repartition, and how I am partitioning this one. So you can see here I am having the 4 partitions available only. So this time I'll create the 8 partitions. Okay, and how the partitions is going to be created based on the salt values. Okay, once this partition is getting created, what I can do, I can rerun this statement to see the Spark partition count along with the corresponding values. So the partition ID and count after repartitioning we will see. So let's rerun this one. Okay, so now you can see instead of 4 partitions, we had created the total 8 partitions now. Let me scroll up this one. So partitions from 1 to 0 to 7. And now you can see the count on each of these partitions is almost similar. That is around the 45,000. Some only one is there, that is the 44,9. That is almost the 45,000 itself. So this is one of the way how we can evenly distribute the data into each and every partitions. So now this data is having less data skewness as compared to the previous one. Okay, so thank you for just watching my videos. I'll try to upload more videos into the upcoming times. Thank you.